Hi guys, today we are going to be playing with some more Ofra products. I was sent another package from Ofra. I don't know what I've done to deserve this, but they are totally spoiling me. But what I was the most intrigued by, and obviously they watched my latest video where I used, not my latest video, but the video where I used their products, and I said that all of the neutral palettes that they sent me just weren't really my thing, so they sent me a new package with like a bunch of colorful stuff, and I'm so excited. But I wouldn't say my concern, but I'm a little bit worried because I never hear anybody talk about like colorful shadows from Ofra. I don't know if it's just because the people who like Ofra products tend to be more into neutrals or because the products aren't that good. So we're gonna find out today. They sent me their Pro palette. I will show you all of the stuff that they sent me, but this is what I'm going to be using today. So basically this is an all matte rainbow palette with a bunch of beautiful shades. I mean, I'm very excited about this, and what I really love about these palettes that they sent me is that they are all magnetic, so you can just like poke out the shadows, which is great because I sometimes like, especially when traveling and stuff, to like bring certain colors in singles, and I don't have that many. I feel like I don't have that many matte singles. I definitely have more shimmers, and so I feel like having something like this is going to be very helpful for, you know, when I do go somewhere and I want to have a specific color. And these look really nice, and I'm excited to test these out. So let me just kind of show you some of the other stuff that they sent me as well. They also sent me another one of their Pro palettes. This is called the Urban Wanderer palette, and it looks like this. So definitely has some colors as well. Not as colorful as the other one, but it does have some pretty basic colors that are like nice for everybody, I feel like, to have in their collection. And if you're someone who maybe isn't super into color but want a little bit of color, maybe that is like a palette that would be good for you. And they also sent me the Beachside palette, which I have seen a couple of people use and nobody seems to really have any issues. So I'm excited to have this in my collection as well. If I can open it, I'll show it to you. So here's what it looks like. Super cute color story. I really like the curated kind of 5 pans that they have. I think that I just really like small palettes. They make me inspired, and I think that this is really cute. So happy to have that as well, but I don't think I'm going to dip into that in this video. They also sent me a bunch of their liquid lipsticks, which I love their liquid lipsticks, and they sent me some really cool colors. Like in particular these two purples. I think I'm going to use this one today because that is so pretty. This one is in the shade, can I find that somewhere? Las Vegas. Wow. What a coincidence. Given that I live in Vegas, if you didn't already know that. That is so cool. I love that. It's, oh, look at that color. So excited. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. So I already know that I love their liquid lipstick formula. It's more on like the moussey side, but it's very comfortable. Oh, and that color is so pretty. I don't think I have a color like that. This is so fun. I really like that. Very unique color to my collection, so I'm very happy to have that. They also sent me a bunch more of their eyeliners. So basically these are like pot eyeliners, so I will show you what they look like. You probably saw me use one of them in the video where I featured them, but these are really cool. I haven't actually tried them on my lid yet. I've only tried them in my waterline, and then I read on the package and it says, "Do not use inside of eyes." And I was like, oh. So maybe I shouldn't be using them in my waterline. But basically this is what they look like. Very thin. Doesn't come with a ton of product, but here is what the kind of consistency of the eyeliners look like. So it's a very, I would say, kind of wet formula. It's a little bit different than gel liners in that it's very, I wouldn't call it runny, but it's a little bit wetter, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna try one of these on my top lid today and just kind of see how they work there. They also sent me some more backup mascaras because they know I love them. I'm so happy to have these. It makes me so happy to know that I don't have to buy a mascara for a very long time. I also was sent this, but I'm telling you, they really spoiled me. I opened the package and I was like, I almost wanted to cry. I was just speechless. I didn't know what to say. So here's the other palette that they sent. This is called the Mini Mix palette. It's called Good to Go. So this is one of those customizable palettes, I guess you can call them, where you can kind of put in whatever Ofra products that you want if you want to like go traveling or something, which I think is really cool. And this highlighter looks beautiful because it has all of the highlighters in it, I think. Yeah, all of the lights. So I don't own this one, but they also sent me another highlighter here, which is the newest one that they did in collaboration with Steph Thompson, and I am subscribed to her. I've been watching her for quite some time. I don't watch all of her videos, but I do like her. She is she British? I think she's British. She lives in the UK anyway, but this is the highlighter that she did, and this one is called Milk and Cookies. And I really like that this is a bit of a darker highlighter because I find a lot of the Ofra highlighters to be a little bit too frosty for me. So I'm very excited to be using this. I think we're gonna start with the eyeshadows though. So let me put on some of my Natasha Denona eyeshadow primer before we get started. I might have to pull in some shimmers from somewhere else just so we can Have some shimmers on the lid as well, since this palette doesn't really have any shimmers, and I really want to just use some of my special shimmers because I don't always get a chance to do that when I'm, you know, trying out new stuff. But I figured since I'm going to be using an all matte palette, it's a good excuse for me to use some of my indie singles and just showcase those as well and just get some more use out of them because they are like the crown jewel of my collection, I feel like, and I just love them so much. So I've had some questions asking what kind of brush I use to blend out my eyeshadow primer, and honestly, whatever is clean. But I do like something that's kind of fluffy, but not like a blending brush, but more of a, I guess I would call it a fluffy packing brush or something like that, like a packing eyeshadow brush, but a little bit fluffier. That is definitely what I would recommend if you are looking for something to use for that purpose. Let's see, what do I want to do today? I'm thinking since I'm wearing this lipstick, is this lipstick a little bit too light for me? I can't quite decide when I like look at a viewfinder. I think that once I get my eyeshadow on and like finish the rest of my face, it's going to look a little bit better. So maybe I will play with, I don't know, I really want to use this color right here. That is so pretty. Maybe this one and the black. I know black. You guys are all like, but there's so many beautiful colors in here. You should use them. You're totally right though. I should use them. So maybe I'll use a little bit more than just those two. So maybe I'll start with, maybe I'll use a little bit of this lime green and see how that one works. Not sure I said the name of this palette, but this is called the Bright Addiction palette, and you have like all the information on the back here. So let's see if there is any hype around these eyeshadows, because I do think that these are quite expensive. I'll have the price of this palette on the screen, but I have pretty high expectations because everything I've tried from Ofra so far I've really liked. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my inner corner. That looks really nice. Actually, I take that back, what I said, everything I've tried from Ofra I've liked, because I did try the, what was it? The collaboration that they did with, oh my god, this has been such a long time. Oh, Francesca Tollett. I had to look that up. Totally forgot the name. I did buy that palette at IMATS. Was it last year or the year before? But I tried that palette and I just wasn't very impressed. So far we're off to a much better start because that palette just didn't really do it for me. And it was so funny when Ofra reached out the first time. They were like, we saw your video way back where you reviewed the Ofra and Francesca Tollett palette and we thought we'd reach out to you. And I was like, wow, really? Because I gave that palette a pretty bad review, so very thankful that, you know, they didn't hate me after that, because some brands take things very personally and some brands are very open to criticism, and I honestly never ever thought that Ofra would ever want to, you know, work with me or send me anything after I made that video. So it makes me very happy, and this is such a cute color. Like, I am having a very good time with this. Usually colors like this can be a little bit tricky, but I find this one to be very nice and pigmented, especially in my inner corner where I don't really have any eyeshadow primer. So that looks really nice. So let's next go into the blue because I do want to try it. This is such a cool color. Like, I don't even know how I would explain this. It's such a fun blue, like fun tone of blue. It's like kind of a purpley blue, but it's not really a blurple. I don't know. But let's go ahead and put that into my crease. Gonna start just by packing it on here. So far that is looking very nice and pigmented. It's maybe showing up a little bit lighter on my eye than I feel like it is in the pan. It also blends out very nicely on its own here. I'm not having any problems working with this shade. Feeling a bit like a clown with this lipstick and this eye look. I might have to switch my lipstick after because this is not working for me. It's clashing a little bit, but I really just wanted to try the lipstick. I think it's a very fun lipstick. So I'm going to take the shade underneath my eye as well, and then I'm probably going to use the black to deepen this up with and get a little bit more depth. Not having any fallout or any issues at all with this blue. I think that looks really nice. So next up, you guessed it, I'm going to take the black with the same brush, and we're going to start packing this in the outer corner of my eye. Okay, so this is not a very pigmented black. This is definitely more of a buildable, like user-friendly black, which I like both, but sometimes I just don't know what to expect when going into a black because some blacks are super pigmented and some blacks need a little bit of building up. This is definitely more of a buildable black, which again, don't mind that at all. I just wanted to mention it. Mostly focusing this on the outer corner of my eye, but I am going to obviously blend it into my crease a little bit as well, just so we get a little bit more depth all the way in here. And I'm also going to take a little bit of this just in the outer corner of my eye, like underneath my eye, so I can connect the outer corner. So that looks very nice. I am going to take a little bit more of that first shade that I used and just kind of run that over the edges here because I want to make sure that everything is nice and blended and just sort of bring back the blue a bit. This lipstick is gonna have to go because this looks crazy. Let me see if I can find some fun shimmers to use with this because I have so many options. I'm probably gonna take like 10 minutes because I'm not gonna know what to use. So I think I want to use one of my Terra Moon shadows. This one is in the shade Mood Ring. I have been wanting to use this for such a long time, ever since the first time I used it. It's the most beautiful turquoise to green to purple multi-chrome. I don't think that you can see the shift in that, which is so hard to show on camera, but it is one of the most beautiful shadows in my collection. Just going to put down some of my NYX glitter primer before we go in with the shimmer here, just so it has something to really stick to. And then I'm gonna dip into that shadow and wait until you see this. Like, this is one of the most metallic and beautiful eyeshadows that I own. It is so beautiful. Like, look how foiled that is. That is crazy. It's so beautiful. Like, if you guys could just see this in real life, you would realize how pretty this is, but it's not going to. The camera is just not going to do it justice, and I am not good enough to be able to properly show you like what this looks like. But just take my awards for it that this is one of the best shadows that I have in my collection. It's so pretty. I'm also going to take a little bit of this yellow and layer it in my inner corner. This one is in the shade Lemon Drop, also from Terra Moons. Going to spray this a little bit here just so we can intensify it. And I'm probably going to use yet another shade just on the front portion of my lower lash line. But I just want to have a shimmer in my inner corner and just something to layer over that lime green. Look how pretty that is. Let's also use one of the blue shades here, which this one is in the shade Ocean Breeze. I don't know if I've used this one yet, so I'm just excited to be playing with some of these shadows. I'm gonna put a little bit of this just right here. Not a lot, just wanna have a little bit of shimmer underneath my eye. All right, so I think this is going to be it for the shadows. I'm definitely going to find a different lipstick, like I said. So let me go ahead and finish off with my eyes. I'll come back and I will show you what I did, and we can use some of these other products as well, especially the highlighter. Definitely want to try that out. Okay, so I finished off with my eyes and I used one of the eyeliners on my top here. It's one of the navy blue ones, and I'm so happy to have like a dark gel liner because a lot of the ones that Lethal comes out with are either very, very bright or just not dark enough that they're almost black. And I really like having like a colorful but very dark eyeliner that's not black. So I used the one here, which is the purple one. It just says purple. It looks more navy to me, but that's the name of it, is called purple. Not sure if I agree with that. I think they also have a navy one. Wonder how different they would be. Anyway, the purple is the one that I used today. I also used the mascara, which update on the mascara. I've had this now for 2 months, and I will say it's starting to dry out. It does start off as quite a dry formula, just something to keep in mind. That is not going to be like the most long-lasting mascara. Whereas with my Bad Girl Bang, which is also my holy grail mascara, I would say both of these are pretty tied. It's very, very close. Like, it's very tough for me to choose, but I would say that I get probably 3 months out of this, maybe 3.5. Whereas with this one, I can see myself replacing this every 2 months because I do like my mascara to be a little bit more on the wet side than what it is after 2 months of having used this, but it still does a really, really good job, and I'm definitely going to keep using it still, but I'm probably going to start layering it with this one because this one is pretty much newly opened, and so those are just going to kind of work very nicely together. Let's see, I also put some green in my waterline. This is the Neon Shockwave eyeliner from LA Girl in the shade Gotcha. I don't love this. I don't think this color is very good. Took me quite some time to like get it into my waterline. It's also quite old, so maybe that's why. And then for my lipstick, I switched, obviously, and I'm using one from Ofra. This is one of their bullet lipsticks. I really like this formula. This is in the shade Toffee. I think it's such a beautiful, it's sort of a mauve, but it's not super, it's like a nude mauve. I think that's a good way to describe it, and I feel like it really goes with this look as well. So let's go ahead and do some blush and highlighter to finish off. I'm going to use a blush from Untitled. This one is in the shade Sweet Peach. It's also kind of like on the mauve side, and I feel like it's going to go quite nicely with what I have going on here. Just gonna use a brush from Alter Ego. This is the number 3 brush. I was sent this in PR, and I'm just going to apply this. I've already done some freckles, as you can probably see, because I just think it's so cute, and it makes me so happy when I remember, because I went through a very long stretch of just forgetting to do my freckles, and I'm sure some people were happy about that, but I miss them. I think that they look so cute, and they just make me really happy. Now let's try out the highlighter. I am very excited about this. I think that this color, I'm probably going to just swirl them together, and I think that this color is going to look very nice on my skin tone. Gonna use a bit of a fluffier brush to apply this with, just going to swirl these colors together. I know that Ofra's highlighters are very metallic and I want a little bit more of a subtle glow. I don't want like the most intense highlighter. I just want to kind of test out the color, but that looks really nice. That is beautiful. I really like that. I'm gonna try just the darkest side in this highlighter on its own on this side because I want to see if it's too dark for me or not. I think that I might actually be able to get away with using this one on its own as well. Maybe I'll layer a little bit of the lighter one over the top here just so we can even them out. This is a beautiful, beautiful highlighter. Like that is really, really, really nice. This might be my favorite highlighter from Ofra. I think that this just suits me very nicely. Like I said before, it's not as white based as some of the other ones, and I feel like my skin tone is a little bit too dark for some of those, unless I go in very light-handed, but this one I can definitely get away with. Like that looks really nice. Very happy with that. So far I'm very happy with, like I said before, basically everything that I've tried from Ofra, and I'm so grateful that they sent me all this stuff because I wouldn't have like ran out and bought this stuff on my own because all of this stuff is like, you know, existing in their collections, and I just wouldn't have bought these, but I'm very happy that I was able to test them out. And I think that so far I have no issues with the eyeshadows. I think I've heard some people say that they're not their favorites, but I don't remember who, and I'm very happy that I was able to test them out myself. Are they my favorite eyeshadow formula of all time, like colorful eyeshadows? Probably not, but I think that they're totally fine, and I'm definitely going to get some use out of these because now that I have them, I might as well use them. So that's gonna basically be it. Let me know if you want me to do more with these. Are you interested in seeing more with this? Because I can probably do that if you want to see it, but again, you have to let me know if you want to see that because I do prioritize videos that, you know, people want to watch. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to Ofra for sending me all of these lovely products. If you want to see another one of my recent videos, you can click on this one right here. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.